He's got the fan base, he's got the fast car. Now Judd Trump has the #1 ranking to go with all the trappings. Snooker's next big thing has arrived all right, and they've turned out in force as he defends his United Kingdom crown.
The cult of personality. I know your aim, I know your dreams. I've been everything you wanna be. Oh, I'm the cult of personality.
Hello again. It was here in York 12 months ago that when playing his particular brand of naughty snooker, things turned out rather nicely for Judd Trump, and his opening match in the defence of his WilliamHill.com United Kingdom Championship title is this afternoon. But hang on a minute. If you were yesterday distracted by England's mighty victory over the All Blacks, or indeed Michael Vaughan's samba on Strictly last night, then events here in York might have passed you by. So here's a quick catch up on what happened over there in the Barbican Centre on day one.
Very much. Come again. Thanks, Michael. Very much.
It started off okay, 2 each at the interval, but I was getting frustrated with myself, and I think if Michael could have won the 7th frame when he was in, he had a good chance to go 4-3 in front. I was really, my head was getting scrambled, and I was just getting uptight, because you obviously want to win so much.
The first 4 frames were, I could see the crowd getting smaller and smaller, and I was one of them that wanted to leave in the first 4 frames, but after the interval I don't think I missed a ball there, and that's the best I've felt for a long while.
There's only one UK championship in the year, so all players losing first round, so they all get a bit disappointed. So I don't want to remember every day. Just go back to practice, ready for the next tournament.
I'm the match.
I've seen Michael play a little bit, but I've never seen him play. I've never played him before, so didn't really know what to expect. But I've heard a lot about him over the last few years. He's always been one of the up-and-coming players, and always talked about, and he's proved what a class player he is. I mean, he played well out there tonight. I was 2-all at the interval, and I didn't feel like I've done that much wrong.
Well, seldom putting a foot wrong, Messrs Parrott and Doherty. You were squirreled away in your commentary boxes yesterday, but we've led them blinking into the studio lights today for the afternoon. Nice to have you with us. What do you think of it so far, John?
It's been good stuff. As I say, the matches yesterday I did were good. I take John Higgins' point. He did look a little bit nervous in that match, but it's like the World Championship. You're so desperate to get through the first round and feel as if you're involved in the event, so he was a little bit like that. And Mark Selby will get better. His long game was good, but not quite as Hoover-like as he usually is in amongst the balls, but he'll improve as well, and bubbling up nicely.
Now, before we get Ken Doherty's opinion on anything, first of all, we want to salute the latest in a long line of firsts, because Ken Doherty is the first man from the Republic of Ireland to make a maximum break in competitive snooker.
Thank you, thank you.
Congratulations.
And it wasn't a bus, by the way, 147. Before he says that,
I was going to say how many visits was it?
and I wasn't playing darts either.
Germany, and I know it's 22 years in the game, Ken. It must have been a really special moment for you.
I'm a patient man, Hazel. What can I say? It was worth waiting for. Thankfully, I was like that on the black, because if it had been any more difficult, the nightmares of the 147 in the Masters that everybody keeps reminding me about, including you, would come back to haunt me even more. But thankfully, it was just like that. It was nice. It was a nice feeling.
And indeed, it was one of 6 so far we've had in the snooker season so far, so they're going in with great regularity. None so far here, obviously, at the UK Championship. And let me ask you about the opening rounds here, because we know that this best of 11 format is really very popular with everybody here and, of course, at home, we hope. But is it more precarious for the top players in the early stages?
Absolutely. I think, as John said, you know, the first round of the UK Championship, of any ranking tournament really, but particularly the UK Championship and the World Championship, you want to get over that first round because you feel like you're really involved in the tournament. And always the first round is always very slippery. And a few of the players out there, I was commentating on Stephen Maguire, Fergal O'Brien. Stephen Maguire, the first 4 frames was terrible. He should have been 3-1 down. He was very lucky to be 2-2. But when he came out after the interval, he was a completely different animal. He played superb. I was very, very impressed the way he was queuing. And John Higgins, I was watching a little bit of that as well. A lot of the players are always going to be a little edgy in the first match of the UK Championship. But once they're over that, it's almost like there's a release off your shoulders that you can really relax and just really enjoy the tournament. But the best of 11s make it a little bit more difficult for the top players.
And we should also actually salute Graham Dott. He's never done particularly well in this UK Championship, but 2 down with 3 to play, and yet again he scrapes it from somewhere and comes through against Martin Gold.
Listen, if you get to 3 world finals, you can play snooker. And he can certainly play match play, and he knows how to compete and never ever gives in. One of those results, other days you might lose that match, but he's stuck in there.
Okay, well, we had 3 former champions of this event in action yesterday. We've got another 3 today. First up, the magician Shaun Murphy, member of a very select snooker club with both the UK and world titles in his locker. He's facing Gloucester's fast-paced, quick-potting Rob Milkins. The odds are firmly against this match being a grind, or indeed any match involving Judd Trump. He's got the style and the swagger befitting his new status as snooker's 10th world number 1. First in line for the Bristolian is the man from Walsall, Mark Joyce, 49 places below him in the rankings. Likes this event though, made the quarters 2 years ago. Ali Carter, last seen in our snooker coverage in the World Championship final against Ronnie 7 months ago, but that campaign's convinced him to play on this season. Opponent Steve Davis needs no persuasion to keep going though, now in his 35th pro term. The Nuggets' record in this event is better than anyone's. And in fact, we are sitting here in our studio, but just behind us, somewhere in the darkness there, Messrs Carter and Steve Davis, just completing their preparations. We're going to talk about them, so shut your ears, guys, all right? How is Steve's game this season?
You've seen him.
Well, I've seen him, yeah. I mean, it's an incredible story just to qualify here. He's 55 years of age. He absolutely loves it, probably even more now than he ever did. And it's remarkable. To qualify for any of these events is tough enough, but he keeps on doing it, and he keeps on sort of shocking us. And he's going to absolutely love it today. His game is like, because he's so tactically aware, he's probably got the best tactician that's ever played the game, and because of that he's always going to cause upsets. His knowledge of the game is second to none, and once he has that intact, he's always going to give himself chances. But he's up against Ali Carter, is one of the top players in the world. It's going to be a difficult game.
Yeah, and it is amazing to think that only 12 months ago, this was the fella that was tweeting everyone saying, I've actually had enough of this game after his second round defeat here in York, and there he is, world final once again. I'm back, and it's great to see you, Ali. Okay, all right, well, they'll be up no sooner than 2 o'clock, actually, because of the matches that are ongoing. So Judd's match, that will be starting no sooner than 2 o'clock, as indeed will these fellas, and we'll be going live to their matches a little bit later on. But first, it is Murphy Milkins. Now that might sound like a character from a Dickens novel, but it is in fact 2 people, and the first of them is the magical Shaun Murphy. They don't call him the magician for nothing. He got his hands on this trophy 4 years ago in Telford, enjoying a pretty solid season, a couple of major ranking semi-finals so far, but says he wants to sprinkle some spectacular success in amongst all the solid stuff, and is targeting at least one big piece of silverware this term. Well, his opponent is Rob Milkins. He hasn't been beyond the first round stage of this championship for 8 years, and at 11 o'clock this morning the two of them got underway. We're going to pick this up with Murphy at 3-2 in front. Murphy's top break 73 and 91 so far. Milkins has had a couple of 50 plus breaks. This is frame 6. It's Milkins at the table, and he's ahead in this one by 22 points. Stephen Hendry alongside John Virgo.
Choice here of green or pink. You would think the pink if he's got a slight angle to stun for the red to the right corner. Got a 23-point lead. Just checking the scoreboard. 23 if he took the pink, 29. You still need 2 more reds. He's got an angle on the pink. I prefer the pink personally, but it's how you see it when you're at the table.
Yeah, I'm a you, John. I thought you play the pink. If you can get nicely on the red to the right, you just stun for the black, and it's easy to drop on the final red on the cushion. This is now missable.
5.
Well, good enough pot, but wrong angle on the blue. But with the yellow not being on its spot, and the brown, of course, no danger of running into a baulk colour. So 32 points to lead. Red and a pink would be enough to level the match. Well,
Queued across that, didn't he?
Robert Milkins, 10.
yeah, easy done with the rest.
And there he is. He knew he didn't go through in a straight line there.
Well, Sean there was trying to bring the brown into play. And I'll tell you what, he might have had a result there and finished inch perfect on the black. Can you believe that? Put his hand up, just a slight hand up to apologise. Couldn't have wished for better, and Robert can't believe it. How did the cue ball get there? As I say, I think he was potting the red, trying to bring the brown into play. Finished inch perfect on the black. But this is tricky. Just off the cushion.
9.
Played it well. He's going to need a good shot to get from black to yellow, and of course the brown is going to be another big problem. Well, he's
16.
on the yellow, but it was never going to be an easy pot. Played it well,
18.
and is absolutely inch perfect on the green to bring the brown into play. What a turnaround in this frame.
$21.
Funny old game, isn't it? Funny old game. Robert Milkins' second favourite now.
$25.
Looking at the scoreboard, he needs the 3 remaining colours.
We probably wouldn't see many better positional shots than that second last red to black in this
30.
frame, John,
Yeah.
the whole tournament.
Unintentional positional shot. Ranks up there with the best. Pink and black needed.
36.
Well, Robert Milkins must be wondering what's happened here. Very fortuitous, Sean, when he got position on the black, but the rest of it he played to perfection, and that is a bonus to win that frame. He puts his cue on the table. He's going to leave the arena. Can't believe he's won that one. Neither can I, but he now leads once again by 2 frames, 4-2.
Well, that's a great steal, but you got to say a great clearance from Sean Murphy. Didn't faze Milkins too badly, though, because he won the next with a break of 64, so 4-3 now. And we're into the 8th. The Gloucester man in the ascendancy here.
He can only get to the right-hand side of the red, just below the pink. And you think if he hits it so thin, he's going to knock it over the left corner, so he's got to be very careful here. Well, all things considered, couldn't have played it better. Well played. Well, that's a terrific port, and it was going to bounce off the board cushion and be on a colour, but hampered. Good pot. I say hampered. Can he just get through to the edge of the cue ball? If he's striking down, it'll be difficult to inject enough pace into the cue ball to run round off 2 cushions.
He must be playing it, because you wouldn't clean the cue ball to roll it behind the yellow.
No. No, he can just get past the yellow with his tip of his cue. Just 8 points behind. Well, that wiped his feet, not 3 times. Knew the password. That really struggled in, didn't it? Not the right side of the blue. If he plays the green, then he's going to need, well, I don't suppose it matters, but he's going to need the pink. And the pink not being on its spot just may cause a problem. So up to and including the pink for a frame. Another frame, it's got to be said, that he never looked favourite for. Another steal, it looks like. As I say, if the pink was on its spot, it'd be a formality. The fact that it's not just may cause a problem, but I can't see it.
13.
I always feel the only thing that can go wrong with this type of shot as we look at Robert, who's squirming in his seat, and I don't blame him. How's he going to lose this one? I always feel that positional shot from brown
70.
to blue, but that's okay. He's a nice angle on the blue, can play for the pink in any pocket here. It's a hard pill to swallow for Robert Milkins. He had one in the 6th frame where he looked all over the winner. Somehow he lost it.
22.
And similar to this one. And Sean now just needs the pink. Quick glance at the scoreboard. It's another steal. Robert Milkins once again looks odds-on favourite to take a frame, but he's lost it. And Sean Murphy now stretching his lead once again to 2 and just 1 frame away from a place in the last 16.
And in fact, we've now caught them up live, so we're going to head in there live now. Packed arena this morning. In fact, the crowd's really good so far in this championship. And it's back to Stephen and John.
Yeah, thank you, Hazel. Well, this frame opened up with a tremendous long pot from Sean Murphy.
12.
This is it. Just got past the green. And it went. And this has been the result. But with a few frames that Sean has won this this afternoon, you
Yellow ball.
could definitely have seen this scoreline reversed in Robert Milkins' favour. But it's the end result that counts, and that was a good cannon from
15.
Sean. Release reds. Looks as though he's trying to storm his way now to the winning line. But he's had a few scares along the way. Won't be best pleased with that positional shot. There's a pot success, and maybe that tells the story. 93% Sean Murphy, 88% Robert Milkins. If you drop below 90%, you're going to struggle to win matches at this standard.
Green ball. $19.
Yeah, tried to get the cannon just to hold for the black, but it was always a big ask for me. I think that could be end of break. Trying to catch that second red fuller to hold for the black, but as I say, it was always going to be a big ask.
Blue ball.
Playing the blue, but I think he's just going to put the cue ball into the jaws of the yellow pocket, as we call it. Well, that was wrong. He went for the pot.
Sean Murphy, 20.
He's probably glad it didn't go in.
Well, if he's gone for the pot, in the view that he's going to leave himself the red to the left corner, he's been very fortunate there. It turned out to be an excellent safety shot. I think this red down the left cushion, with the red being over the corner pocket, it does make it a bigger pocket here. If he feels he wants to drop this red in. I don't think he's even looked at it yet.
Well, I don't fancy the safety shot. I'm trying to not leave this red near the left corner. That's what he's trying to do, it appears. Nah, you were always going to leave the red to the left corner, Robert. Maybe you couldn't get past the brown to play your shot, Stephen, but anything would have been better than that.
He must be frustrated at Robert. As we've said, he was at least 40 points ahead in all 4 frames since interval, and has only won 2 of them. Scoreline could easily have been a lot different to this.
Yes, and in all honesty, it wasn't really his bad play. I think just a little run of the ball at vital times that have cost him dear. Going into the reds. Well, they could have broken nicer, but I think he's just about
6.
on the red to the left corner.
Yeah, I think it's just a little bit too thin a cut to be comfortable to play for the pink into the right centre. He would like to play a little slow drag shot with right hand side. So it's a tricky little positional shot here.
So played it with pace, but it looks as though he could finish up in no man's land here.
7.
But as you keep telling me, Stephen, he's such a good player with a rest. You fancy him knocking the green or yellow in here? I don't think he's in a mood to play safe. He could just trickle behind the blue, but I think he's thinking this is a chance to win frame and match.
Green ball.
See how high that elbow is when he plays it. That's why he tries to get it as though he's playing a normal shot. And played it well.
10. $11.
The one thing, of course, about the top players, when they see the winning line, they don't weaken,
17.
They get stronger. And that looks to be the case now. Had a few wobbles along the way, but looks as though he's in complete control now. And do you fear that
18.
Robert Milkins won't be getting any more chances in this match? He'll be disappointed. Didn't play that well in the first 4 frames. It's a little bit tentative. But as you say, Stephen, after the interval, he's probably been the better player, but just not got his rewards.
24.
No, that's right. And it's a sign of a top player.
25.
When you're not at your best, to still come through comfortably. And if you want to win this UK Championship, it's not about playing your best snooker in the first round. It's about getting better and better as the tournament goes on. First round's about the result, not the performance.
31.
Red cover red will do it.
32.
Well, a bit careless to leave himself so straight on the pink. That's all he could do really, was just roll it through. But if he can get past the pink, this red's easy enough. This is frame
38.
and match ball effectively. Must say though, been a very entertaining match. Both players have had the moments. It's been quick fire. But there you see it now. In the frame he needs to go in the last 16. 65 ahead, just 51 remaining. And that red going in means that next time Robert
46.
Milkins gets out of his seat, it'll be to shake Sean Murphy's hand. Packing up.
$53.
And he's always been a dangerous opponent for anyone as Robert Milkins, so I suppose Sean Murphy, having had the few scares he's had, will be quite pleased to have got over the line in this match. He can improve on this performance, but there has been signs that he's cueing very well.
59.
And he'll be one of the major contenders for this title, no doubt about that.
60.
The pockets are looking like dustbin lids now, aren't they?
$65. 67.
This is what we call
70.
lazy man snooker here. You try to just keep bringing the cue ball back to the side you're on, so you don't have to walk around the table. Well, a little bit of an exhibition shot. This looks
74.
absolutely inch perfect. Yeah, that's what I like to see when the frame's over. Display your wares to the crowd, and as Hazel said, we've had some very good crowds.
79.
It's great to be back here at the Barbican in York. I'm sure everybody has enjoyed this match. But it's the world number 4. Aye, I don't fancy this one. Is he going to pot this? Surely not.
85.
Well, that's enough. And warm shake of hands, and I'm sure Robert wishing Sean the best for the rest of the tournament. Sean Murphy would be mightily relieved. Robert Wilkins, you can see the disappointment etched on his face. He had chances, but it's the world number 4 who's in the last 16 as he runs through. A winner, 6 frames to 3.
And hopefully, after he's just done a little bit of tidying up in the arena there, Sean will be on his way to chat to us. So first of all, let's get the opinion of the guys in the studio here. What did you make of the way he was able to particularly steal a couple of very important frames to get himself?
He's a good cat burglar, that's for sure, because he absolutely stole 2 frames. The match could have been an awful lot closer, but what is in evidence is that he's cueing absolutely beautiful. I mean, he's getting through the ball. We're just, you know, mesmerised some of those shots there the last couple of frames, and just how sweet he hits the ball and how much he can get so much power on that cue ball with very little effort. He's a beautiful cueist, and as John Virgo said there, if he's on his game, he's a match for anybody, and he's going to be one of the favourites for this tournament.
Agree, John?
Oh, absolutely agree. I mean, he hits it so sweetly. I mean, his long game's like a laser. Scores heavily in amongst the balls. I always think if his match play's there, he's got a very good chance of winning. I do think there's 1 or 2 players, like Neil Robertson last year, completely outplayed him in the final. His match play was better standard than his. John Higgins is one. But there's not many players that can really tie him up. But if he gets that part of his game right, and he's hitting it, he is seriously a match for anybody.
I think he lulls you into a false sense of security, Sean, in a way, because he's so consistent. He's always there or thereabouts, quarter-finals, semi-finals, all the major events. But I guess it must frustrate him to some degree that he's not converting more of those chances into trophies.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, he's so talented, you know, and any time he gets in, you know, he scores really heavily.
Here he is.
Congratulations.
Well played, Sean.
I'm just trying to say some nice things about you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Kenny was just saying you'd make a great cat burglar. A couple of wonderful steals out there.
Yeah, but you know, she is watching guys like you, isn't it, do that? Don't call you Crafty Ken for nothing.
It's clueless Ken lately. But 2 fantastic frames, 2 great steals at an important stage of the match as well, because the match could have been an awful lot closer.
Yeah, I mean, it's a shame it's taken me till the age of 30 to realise that snooker's not just about potting and scoring and all of that. And you know, some friends and people tried to tell me when I was a kid that there was more to snooker, and didn't listen. Turns out they were right. And you know, I've been on a journey for the last few years trying to learn that other side of the game, and you know, I feel like I'm out of that journey now.
We were just talking about the consistency that you've shown throughout the last couple of seasons, Sean. You're always there or thereabouts in the later stages, and we were just wondering whether it is a source of frustration to you that you haven't been able to convert more of those chances into silverware.
Yeah, I mean, obviously I would have liked to have won more trophies, but you know, I feel at this stage of my career to already have the 2 biggest at home in the locker room sort of thing, you know, I feel that that's a little bit of pressure off me, and you know, I've got the rest of my career to try to add to that tally, so I don't feel under any pressure really at all where that's concerned. I'm happy that I'm in my 30s now and I've got the rest of my sort of career ahead.
So go on then, are you a better player now than you were 5 years ago?
Yeah, definitely, yeah. 100%.
In what respect?
I just think my sort of general all-round snooker brain is a little bit better. You know, I was quite blinkered even when I won the World Championships at 22. You know, I just went for everything, and of course that doesn't win all the time, and you know, I've had to try and learn a different style of snooker, and
happy with the balance now?
Very much so, yeah. I went a little bit too negative for a while,
yeah,
and now I've decided to go back to my strengths and with a bit of smart play.
I think the consistency as well, once you're consistent, you're putting yourself in those positions, you know, that you're going to convert more and more as you get on. But also the thing about it is that you know, he's in with a group of players who, you know, there's such a high standard amongst probably about 8 players who are on top of their game as well. So you're coming up against those type of players in semi-finals, finals and quarter-finals, so it's quite difficult as well.
And it's not getting easy from here on in, because we've just been looking at the draw, and you'll know yourself, it's Graham Dott Tuesday evening, and Graham had a real escape act last night to come through against Martin Gould, and you're always guaranteed a real hard graft where Dottie's concerned, aren't you?
Well, I think of the last sort of half a dozen years, he's probably got one of the best records at the World Championships, you know, and you don't get that type of record without being a really gutsy, determined, never say die player, and you know, Graham always gives his absolute best, and I'll have my work cut out.
Do you change, tweak your approach to play a man like Graham, or do you just go in and play what is now your natural game?
I think really with snooker, the days of trying to identify a certain player's weaknesses, I think those days are probably gone. Because now we're playing so often, everyone's so sharp and everyone's playing very near their best all the time. Whereas a couple of years ago, that wasn't the case with just 7 or 8 tournaments a season. We're now playing nearly week in, week out, and everyone's on their game all the time. So you've just got to go out and play your best and hope on the day it's good enough.
And you always do, Sean. You did today. Well played.
Thank you very
Safely
much.
through.
Thank you. Cheers.
Okay.
Thank you. Thanks. Cheers. Thank you.
Well, what was going on at the same time as Sean was coming through his match was happening on the other side of the arena on table 2, and it's Cao Yupeng of China who was playing Mark Davis of Sussex. And you got to take your hat off to Mark. 21 years in the game, into the top 16 this season, qualified by right accordingly for this championship because of that. And he's had a wonderful time of it. He's got to 2 back-to-back world ranking semi-finals, and he's waited over 2 decades to do that. So well played to him, having a very good season. As you can see, this match was going very much in the man from Sussex's favour. Mark 5-1 up and on the verge of going through. So what could Cao do about that? The man from China trailing by 21 points to 41. Let's see what happens in this.
There's one shot that Cao Yupeng does play well, those stun runs throughs like that. Well, it's probably now or never if he's going to get back into this match. He's got to win this frame at this visit. May think he's lucky to get another chance. Shakes his head though, he doesn't like his angle on this. That's not nice where he is. Oh dear, dear, dear.
Wow. Cao Yupeng 8, Mark Davis 4.
That would be a funny sort of a shot if it wasn't for the situation, the fact that he's managed to go in off there.
Yeah, you can't really say he was unlucky there because he shouldn't have missed the red. And it was a bit strange for the white. The red to come back over and knock the white in. When things go wrong at this game for you, it never ceases to amaze me what can happen. So another chance for Mark Davis to close this match out. And when things are going well, that's the sort of kiss you get. Didn't play the cannon that red, but he'll take it, that's for sure. Needs a bit of angle on this red to the middle because he's got to leave the blue into the same pocket. The red to the left of it is blocking the path for the other middle pocket, and he has the angle.
9.
So it's been pretty straightforward. I don't think Cao really recovered from that third frame when he led by 56 and missed a sitter of a red. The writing seemed to be on the wall after that, and he's still shaking his head there, as you can see. It's been a bad day at the office for the young Chinese star.
$14. 15.
So just this blue and one more red. Mark will be relieved. I know he's winning this comfortably, but just missed a couple
20.
in this frame when he just wanted to get the job done, which appears is now going to happen.
21.
Yeah, it's a more confident Mark Davis we're watching now. He knows how to shut a match out, and that comes with winning. The more you win, the easier it becomes to clinch the matches.
26.
Always a nice feeling inside when you've
27.
clinched a match and you're just knocking balls in for fun.
$34.
And he's going to go out in
26.
style. He wants to clear the lot.
$39.
But they've got plenty of tournaments to play on these days. Chow will be very disappointed, but at
43.
least they don't have to wait for another month or so before they play again. So.
$48.
Yeah, just letting go the cue there. He'll be very pleased with the performance, and his young Chinese opponent will be very disappointed in the end. Mark Davis runs out a very comfortable winner, 6 frames to 1, and he gets a nice round of applause from this crowd here.
It's the most emphatic victory so far in this UK Championship, in the final stages anyway. And Ken, I just wonder how much this new calendar, this new full snooker season is benefiting players like Mark.
Absolutely, yeah. As Sean said, there's a lot of players. They're getting more opportunities to play, more matches, and Mark Davis is certainly seeing the fruits of all those tournaments, all the PTC tournaments. He's getting a lot of not experience, but he's getting a lot of confidence because he's beaten a lot of the top players in these PTCs. And he's become one of the most consistent probably performers, you know, outside like the top 16, yeah, because he always wins his match to qualify for events. He always has good runs in the PTCs, and he's just, as Dennis said, he's winning more matches. The more matches you win, it becomes a habit. And you know, it's great to see him after so many years, 21 years as a professional, and he's broken into the top 16. It's a great story, and he's a hard worker as well, and it's good to see, you know.
I think he's one of the most improved players on the circuit, and that's hard to. When you can generally, you probably beforehand label him with journeyman. You know, been around a long time, someone you saw in the draw, thought good player, wouldn't mind getting him in the draw and everything. And then obviously, the last few years he's improved. He's a proper player now, and he scores heavily. His match play is good. He wins those. You know, the short, what those tournaments,
PTC
but the other tournaments,
Six Reds
the Six Reds in Taiwan, he's won that, and beat
yeah.
some great players to do it, you know, in doing it, and he's improved, you know, but where's that come from?
There's 3 guys, and they hang around with each other, Barry Hawkins, Joe Perry, and Mark Davis. They're like the 3 musketeers, you know, and all of those guys have all benefited from these PTCs. Barry Hawkins is one of the most improved players as well, almost breaking into the top 16. So it's good for these guys, and they've done really well.
Yeah, well played to Mark, and he will now play at John Higgins in round 2, so that should be something to look forward to. But it is time to reacquaint you with the world #1, Judd Trump. He's been getting used to that new title over the last few weeks. It's taken him, 7 years as a professional to get there, and he's still only 23 years of age. And you know, after winning this title last year, well, he had a fair few bucks to spend, and he's done so by buying a Ferrari. He's not the first, and he's not the last in this game to do that, but it seems that he's enjoying life in the fast lane, whatever he's driving.
I love karting, it's good fun, so I've been quite a few times over the last couple of months really. I enjoy it, and I like to think that I'm a very good racer, but deep down I know that I'm not. Yeah, I think the game is getting more and more aggressive. That's kind of my style at the moment. I like to just get on with it and get the reds open as early as possible and try and make frame-winning breaks rather than just pick one ball off at a time like some of the other players. I like to make the crowd enjoy it more, get some more attacking snooker. It's good to reach #1. It was always a dream of mine. But now I'm there, I've got to try and keep it. Everyone wants to be #1, so you've just got to keep battling away. The standard's so tough nowadays that if you take your foot off the gas, then someone will come up and overtake you. I'm not one of those players that is going to enter every tournament to try and stay there. The tournaments I do play and I want to win, and I'd rather win sort of 6 of the 8 tournaments I go in than 9 of the 25 really. I'd rather win the main tournaments and not tire myself out by going in all the little events. I've won 2 titles this season, one big one, one little one, but I have reached the last 4 finals, so I don't think that's been done for quite a while, so the way I'm playing is pretty consistent. Yeah, it was obviously really special to win in York. The UK Championship's the 2nd biggest tournament, so it was nice to get that one out of the way. Looking forward to getting back there, and I've got some good memories. It was nice to have my family there, and it was kind of the first big title I won, so just really excited about it, and hopefully I can keep winning like I have been in the last few tournaments.
And he was pretty chuffed, I think, to have beaten his flatmate there, Jack Lazowski, in that particular race. But, you know, since we saw him with that early exit at the Crucible to Ali Carter a few months ago, he seems to have really steeled himself in his game. Suddenly, he's reached the summit of the game. What's changed, do you think, if anything at all, in the last few months?
I think it's just a natural progression and a little bit of experience. You know, losing a couple of matches you probably shouldn't have done. Maybe you'll have a look at yourself and think, oh, my attitude might have been right there, or the certain shot selection wasn't right. All a part of experience of growing up, playing match play. And as Ken said before, you know, the standard's never been higher. You make 1 or 2 mistakes, you dip a little bit, you will get beaten. So he's been very consistent, he's got his head down. I must say, I had to laugh though, when he turned around his quote and thing, said it's been a long, hard road to get to world #1. He's only 23. I mean, you think he was like 35 or something, but he's, you know, he deserves it. And he's box office now, he's the #1 box office draw.
And he's already proved what a great draw he is this season. 5 finals, as he says. He's converted 2 of those into trophies. Obviously, he's come up against John Higgins in a couple and was beaten by Stuart Bingham in the Premier League. But from what you're seeing week in and week out on the circuit, what are the hallmarks now? What's emerging about his game that we didn't know before?
I think, as John said, you know, he's learned so much, he's grown up and defeats like that against Ali Carter really hurt him. But I think he's learned from it and he's kicked on, and he hasn't sort of gone into any shell. He's actually, you know, he's become much more confident in his own ability, and every time he gets on the table, it doesn't matter who he's playing. It's like O'Sullivan in his prime, you know, it didn't matter who he was playing, he just played his natural game, and that's what he does, and he entertains, he loves entertaining the public, and it's a great asset for the game.
And let's tell you who he is playing today. He's Mark Joyce from Walsall, ranked at 49 places below Junt. And in fact, he actually beat Trump right here in York 2 years ago in this championship, en route to his best run anywhere, place in the quarters of the UK. Now, just a couple of weeks after that, however, he was mugged when he was out on a night out in Birmingham and suffered a shattered elbow and shattered eye socket. He had double vision for 4 months. He thought his career was over, actually, and he struggled right through 2011 and is now regaining confidence, thankfully, this year. It's great to see him back after such a torrid time. It was an unprovoked attack, I should also tell you, and these things have happened all too frequently, I suppose. But Mark Joyce is here, and there he is, coming out to play Judd Trump. We wish them both the very best, and ready to take up the commentary on this one, Messrs Hendry and Virgo in the commentary box. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Hazel. Good afternoon, everybody. And yes, as you've all so rightly said, now the world #1. And there's Mark. That was terrible. I didn't know about that. It's a sad world sometimes, isn't it? But he's got his work cut out today against a young man, I believe, Stephen, who's world #1 and is the box office and seems to have a more all-round game this season.
Yes. The snooker that I've watched Judd play this year, he's certainly, his game's maturing all the time. He is box office now, with the absence of Ronnie O'Sullivan. Judd's now the man to beat.
Had a chance of a long red into the right corner there, did Mark, but decided not to play it. Yeah, there's nothing breeds confidence more than success, and he's been very successful. Took a few years, mind. Everybody was saying Judd Trump was the next superstar in the game, but he did struggle for those first few years. Didn't realise his full potential, but now he is doing. He certainly is a joy to watch. Nice flick off the green, has left the cue ball near the baulk cushion.
Also Trump coming into this UK Championship in fantastic form. The last 4 or 5 tournaments, I think he's been in 4 finals. He's won 2 of them, I think. Along with John Higgins, probably the 2 most consistent players of the season so far.
Yes, and let's not forget, of course, he's the reigning UK champion. What a final that was last year with Mark Allen. And what a good safety shot that is from Mark Joyce. Snooker Judd on the all reds. Playing the 2 cushion escape here with pace. You've got to get these just right.
Foul and a miss. Mark Joyce, 4.
And I must admit, I've never seen Mark Joyce play before John, so I'll be interested to see how he copes with this situation.
Yeah, I've seen him a couple of times. A good, steady player, of course. From Walsall. Jimmy Chambers, I think, was the last professional from that area. A hotbed of snooker, though. It was the Midlands.
This is always the acid test, though, isn't it, for these players? So often they can play their best snooker in the conditions with no TV and not big crowds. Obviously, it's the second biggest tournament of our season, so
6.
It's a huge test for him today, see if he can play his normal game.
Yeah, we're blessed with great crowds here back in York. But in the meantime, he's played a very poor positional shot off the blue. He's on nothing. So it was a good chance that he had. And he's only scored 6 points.
Mark Joyce, 6.
Disappointing. Well, as long as he covered the red in the baulk end, which he appears to have done, he was always going to pose a problem for Mark. So, well, can he swerve and hit this red? Thinks he can. Yeah, and once he could hit that red, it was an easy safety. Oh, much too thin. Well, much too thin. He's got the pot, has he? Didn't play the pot, he played the safety. Just shows you this game, doesn't it? He's played the safety, hit it all wrong and finished up potting the ball. One of those players who,
6.
as we see that fluke again. Well, that was a long way away.
Judd Trump, 6.
Dear me. What happened there? Took him by surprise. Didn't even get in the jaws. It just shows you world number 1 or not. Still feeling the nerves. First match here at the Barbican.
Chance of a red here to the right corner, but just to be careful where the cue ball's going. 3 reds on the left side cushion might prove a problem.
Yeah, if you're going to play this type of shot, you've got to make certain you get close to pocket. Then he may not have kissed into a second red, but having done that, he left a chance here for Judd.
One. Six. Seven. $14. 15. 22. Yeah. 23.
Heavy contact on the cue ball there. Expecting the white to follow through at least another 2-3 inches. You see a slight jump on the red. It's finished a little straighter on this black than he would have liked.
$30. $31.
Yeah, good shot. Nicely recovered. the situation here. There's this red, the next red, and the one just below the pink, but
38.
the other reds are a little bit awkward, so it's imperative he keeps good control of the cue ball.
39.
Got a nice angle on the black here to stun up for the red just below the pink into the same pocket. He's wondering whether it's worth the risk of playing the cannon on the two reds on the left-hand side of the table. He's going to need these reds away from the cushion, so maybe worth the risk. Well, he got the double kiss and he's finished on nothing.
46.
Yeah, I think he thought the fact he was canning two reds, he'd be really unlucky if he wasn't in either one of those or the red next to the pink. The double kiss was the only way that could go wrong, and it has.
Judd Trump, 46.
Thing is, though, if you don't miss an easy pot, even though you run out of position, you get a chance to play a good safety, and that's exactly what he's done. I'm just wondering whether this red just below the pink is available into the left middle. If it is, then every reason to take it on. The only red he could leave is the one he's playing. It does go. And it's gone.
1.
So that was a misjudgment there from Mark. This black will put in 50 points in front, but there'll still be 83 remaining. There's still a bit of work to do to clinch the frame at this visit. Deciding to play the pink, and obviously being left-handed. This red on the left-hand side of the table, probably easier for a left-handed player than it would be for a right-hander. Nope.
Judd Trump, 7.
Yeah, and this was frame ball virtually, because he would have potted the black, stun for the red that's below the black spot into the opposite left corner, and the frame would be over. So a little bit careless there.
Won't have any thoughts here of winning the frame at this visit. Just concentrate on reducing your arrears.
Did have an angle there to follow through with the side cushion to go into the reds. Chose a more conservative route.
Now
he needs an angle on this black to run into those reds along the top cushion, but I don't think he's got it. No, just the wrong side. May be able to stun over for this red near the right-hand cushion. Just needed a bit more pace in it. I'll be surprised if he takes it on now. Well, he's certainly looking at it. I always feel if these are tight against the cushion, then they're a lot easier pot, but Using the rest, the extension. This is tricky. But if you're going to play it, fully commit. Don't try and edge your bets. Just roll it in dead weight. Give the ball every chance to go in the pocket. And that's what he's done, and played it very, very well indeed. As I say, it's that type of shot that if you play it with any pace, then you just make the pot that bit more difficult. It looks to have a nice angle on the black as well here. Well, if he's not on the red to the right corner, he's very unlucky. And looking at his body language, that could be the case. Well, I think he may just be able to get through to it, you know. Well, he's not looking at it, so maybe he can't. Can he not see enough of it? Oh, obviously not, because he'd have played it. So unlucky there.
Mark Joyce, 24.
Yeah, it was unlucky. Because prior to this, he'd played a great red with the rest to deliberately land high in the black. He had the perfect angle, as you said, John, and probably a millimetre away from being perfect on that red.
Foul and a miss. Mark Joyce, 4.
But he's right back in this frame. Judd will be a little bit annoyed. He missed that easy red 5 minutes ago to tie up the frame.
Where's the cue ball? Played that well. Never easy those when you're playing with side and in across the ball, but couldn't have played it much better.
Yeah, it looks to have a pretty solid safety game. The question's going to be, is he going to be able to score heavy enough today to put the pressure on Judd? An example of Judd Trump curbing his natural game. I think last year he'd definitely gone for this long red on the left hand side, but he's played a good safety. just looking to see where he can leave the cue ball. If he's going to play the red up and down the table and leave the white ball in this top cushion.
Well, I think the red that's round about the black spot will pot. Well, where's this cue ball going? It's very close to the pocket.
Foul.
And
Mark
that
Joyce,
could be
4.
very, very costly. So 17 points behind, and well, it's a big ask, but it's a good chance, this, and it's the type of chance, if he takes, could fill him full of confidence.
One.
I think I probably would have played the red in bulk first. I only say that because it's probably the most difficult red to get position on at the end.
7.
With the yellow, green and brown all in the same area. But this is still a fantastic opportunity. I think ideally I would like to
8.
play perhaps for the brown of the second last red, or at least one of the bulk colours, to make the positional shot to the last red a bit easier.
Yeah.
Used all the pocket with that black. I think it's literally a
15.
case of just keeping himself together here. And the angle he's got on this red, I think he'll have to play for the black. It was a little bit wide, wasn't it?
Sometimes it's good when you do that and they go in. It's just a reminder to you to keep your concentration.
Yep. I think he'll have to play for the black here.
16.
Now, if he's too straight, that's a terrible shot. He just wanted a half ball pot on the black so he could stun up to the baulk cushion. He's now looking at the pink, but there's pressure on this.
Again, this is why I suggested I would have played this red first when Judd went in off. Cue ball anywhere near the baulk cushion is fine.
He's rolled it in lovely, and he's finished perfect on the red. He's got
22.
a 5-point lead. Frame at his mercy.
$23.
Come a little bit awkward there. Didn't want to be using the rest. Just get the sense he's feeling it slightly. So 8
25.
points to lead. Yellow, green, brown and blue needed.
27.
Another glance at the scoreboard. Well,
Mark Joyce,
do you know,
27.
I just had a feeling it was coming. It seemed to be building up in his body language to me. He was just getting a little bit too edgy. Kept having quick glances at the scoreboard when he should have been well aware of what was required. Took his eye off the ball there, literally.
Yeah, this was a twitch. There's no other word for it. Will I get another chance?
Needs a bit of help here from the brown, and he's not going to get it. The only thing is, well, this will be a test of Judd Trump's cue action. Let's see how much cue power, because he's come almost straight on the screen. But they say there's not a shot on the table he can't play. Have a look at this one. This is going to take some cueing. Well, he got back for the brown, but of course, playing at that pace, you had to be so accurate. And I think he may have left this green. He can just get past the brown to pot it. It's a lot more difficult than the green he missed, but it's a chance. Good shot, but he may be snookered behind the blue here. It needs to run. It didn't. So 13 points the lead, still 22 remaining. It's the age-old problem. It's not hitting the brown. Can he get it safe? Well, I said it wasn't a case of hitting the brown. I can't believe he was that far away from it.
Mark Joyce 3. Judd Trump 4. Yeah.
So yes, Judd having it replaced. No value in playing from where it was. Well, that's nowhere near referee. It's a bit better. Well, I don't know whether when he coming off the two cushions he tried to hit the brown thin. He wants to really get a full ball contact. Missed it again, and this time he could leave a free ball.
Foul and a miss. Judd Trump 7. Free ball.
But is the free ball any advantage to Judd? Remember, if it's a free ball, for example, if Judd was to nominate black, he could not play a snooker behind the black. That would be deemed a foul. But there's no reason why he can't push the black past the pink and play the snooker behind the pink. I wouldn't want to leave my opponent in the snooker again, because surely he's got to hit the brown. Well, he's having it put back. I can only assume, Stephen, that he is trying to get a thin contact on the brown.
Yeah, but I'm with you, John. I think the thick contacts, the more chance of getting it safe if he's playing it at the pace he's playing at.
Yeah, it took foam in the face, and just want to leave distance between cue ball and object ball.
If he's going to hit the brown on the left-hand side, he's going to knock the brown over in the white. The cue ball's going to hit the blue from this angle, as far as I see it. See if he's allowed enough here.
He's done it again.
Foul and a miss. Judd Trump, 7.
It's not gone back now.
Free ball.
No, it won't be replays now. We'll be taking the black as a free ball. Well, I've got to say, they were very poor attempts to get out of the snooker. 3 attempts and never really got close.
Thank you.
And of course, what will stick in Mark Joyce's mind is the golden opportunity he had when he missed the green. He just needed green, brown and blue. And he can shake his head, but this frame looks to have gone now.
8.
Just the blue needed. And this was the green he missed. Frame ball, no excuse.
13.
But Judd Trump won't mind. It's always an advantage to win the first frame of any match. And to win it in this way,
19.
with your
And the frame, Judd
opponent's confidence dented, will be even worse for Mark Joyce. Judd Trump, world number 1, is 1-0 in front.
And from Mark Joyce's point of view, that is not the way to settle yourself down against the world number 1, especially that miss on the green seemed to go all wrong from there on in.
Oh, he's got to be kicking himself after that. I mean, what a situation he's got himself in. He's done so well, got himself in that position.
Mark Joyce,
He just
27.
simply cannot miss balls like that. I mean, of course, that was just the start of his downfall in that frame, Ken.
It's very unsettling as well, because the frame is at his mercy. He needs, like, players like Mark Joyce coming into this tournament, they're playing like the top seed. They need to get off to a good start. And when you miss balls like that, your opportunities, you have to take them. Well, when you miss them, they're very unsettling. And here was another very unsettling. I mean, he's had 3 goes at this. And as Stephen said in the commentary, I mean, he should be trying to hit this full ball. He's trying to get a clip off it. And if he clips it, the brown is going to go over towards the green pocket. He's going to be leaving him a shot, leaving Judd Trump a shot. He should be trying to hit that full ball, knocking the brown up the table. And I mean, he had 3 goes at it. It was a catastrophic mistake for him.
So how do you regroup after that?
Well, the next frame's the next frame, simple as that. You've got to, this is what all part and parcel of snooker, being mentally tough. You've just got to put it behind you and go, right, we'll forget about that and concentrate on the next frame. Easier said than done, of course.
Absolutely. Easy for us sitting in here. He's got to do it. Frame 2, off we go.
Not the best break-off shot from Mark. I wonder how much that will affect him for the rest of the match. You don't mind losing a frame, but when you hand it to your opponent, it's a different matter completely.
Well, this is certainly what you want when you made a big mistake in the previous frame. Nice easy opener, chance to pot some balls.
1. Eight. Nine. $14. $15.
I think think the red just to the left of the black will pot to the right corner, so looks like it's just a case of roll off one cushion, throw red into the right corner. And that's unforgivable,
Joyce,
I'm afraid.
50.
Yep. And as I say, that first frame will have left a few scars. And, well, it's not going to get any easier from here on in.
It's just the sheer pressure of playing on this big occasion, playing a #1 player in the world on television, second biggest tournament of the season. I'm sure if Mark was playing off TV or one of the smaller events, he would never miss that black in a million years.
Six.
Just means that every time Judd comes to the table also that he's just so relaxed. If you don't believe your opponent can punish your mistakes, it just takes all the pressure off. You can just play your natural game.
7.
Nice angle in the black here. Bottom left hand side of the white. And straight into the middle of the bunch. How's that?
Looks pretty good.
$15. $22. 23. Yeah. $28. Thank you. 29.
Well, that's turned out nice. And with the reds as they are, you fully expect Judd to make a frame-winning contribution here.
$36. 37.
Was down on the shot and just thought about it for a second. Something he never used to do. And sometimes that's how you can make mistakes. But there he just thought, well, is this
44.
the right red to play for? He was just not certain, but got up off the shot.
45.
And as I say, a couple of seasons ago he was just down playing it and then trying to make his mind up while he was down at the table. Bad mistake, but it's certainly matured a lot, and of course, as we said earlier, nothing breeds
52.
success like, or confidence like the success he's had over the last couple of
53.
seasons. All really started with that World Championship final appearance where he lost to John Higgins. Could have quite easily have won it, but he's gone from strength to strength since then.
61.
I know it's a silly thing to say, Stephen, but at the moment, okay, it looks certain now it's going to be 2 frames to 0, but
69.
It's been with a lot of help from his opponent.
Yeah, it's even at this early stage, it's hard to make a case for Mark Joyce winning this match. Just from seeing the opportunities that he's thrown up and the way he's thrown them up.
76.
It's unfortunate that that's what happens a lot of times to the qualifying players when they get out there.
77.
They just can't play their normal game.
Well,
they may just be able to drop this red in the middle. Just let gravity take over.
85.
But he couldn't get good position on the blue, so he needs a good shot here. And played one excellent positional shot.
90. $92.
Already now at 9 century breaks so far.
95.
We're only in day 2.
$99.
And this for the century.
104.
In it goes, and everybody loves the century. And he's taken these really well, albeit gifted the opportunity. Well, he screwed it up.
104.
But that didn't
Mark
matter.
Joyce, 6.
Frame was
Frame,
well and truly
Judd
over.
Trump.
Mark Joyce will be very disappointed with the first 2 frames. Judd Trump will be delighted. He leads 2-0.
He'll be chuffed, all right, because that is Judd's 40th century of the season. 60 more than anyone else. Marco Fu is the man in hot pursuit at the moment, but he's so emphatically ruling the roost when it comes to the brig breaks this season. And just to put that in context, last season in total, Judd made 45 tons. He's already made 40. I think that tells its own story.
Wow.
But Kenny, the way he established the makings of that break was what was so impressive.
Yeah, well, I mean, Mark Joyce was in again, missing easy. We talked about, you know, missed balls and how they can play in your mind. It certainly played on his mind again because he hasn't settled. He's missed another opportunity there in the beginning of that second frame. But he played a shot, Judd Trump, to split the pack. He couldn't have played it much better. Just have a look at this. But just have a look at the split of the reds. Absolutely perfect. I mean, if he was in here practicing before the match, he couldn't have placed them better with his hand, because that's exactly how most players play. Just throw the reds out and try and just get your cue arm going, and it couldn't have hit that black much better.
No, absolutely. You dream about a split like that, but who knows what that first frame's done to Mark Joyce as well. You know, we've said you've got to put it behind you. It's very difficult to do, but he's 2-0 behind. He's got to win this frame, I think. If he goes 3-0 down to Judd Trump, he's really up against it.
And when we talked about some of the stats there, just as we see them go to the break off here, Judd, it is 40 already.
Yeah, it's quite possible that one day, if not this season, but in the coming seasons, one player could have 100 centuries in a season, because there's so many tournaments. It's quite possible. I mean, this kid, Judd Trump, he might do it, this season, because 45 already, and we're not even halfway through the season yet. It's quite remarkable scoring.
Yeah, 40 already, 45 last year, and I believe from memory it's Mark Selby, 58 last season, who holds the record. So he's well on track in this match as well.
There's not any problem with his safety play at the moment, Mark. You just worry about him when he gets in amongst the balls, but after what happened to him in 2010, and funnily enough, it was in 2010 he played Judd Trump in the second round of this UK Championship and beat him 9-7. But just after that, that's when his problems started. When he was mugged. I think that's the only word we ever use for it. Just disgraceful, really. And it's probably it has affected him ever since. Stopped him playing for a while, knocked him down the rankings, so he's on a comeback trail of just trying to get his self-confidence back, I would suggest. But what will happen, and I think we see that from that terrific pot from Judd, that now he's got the first couple of frames under his belt, he'll hit overdrive. And when he does hit overdrive, he is the #1 player in the world.
Nine. $16.
Just having a look if there's any plants available, but he can just roll this red in, leave a nice angle on the black.
17.
To play the power cannon into the cluster. Just watch the action on this cue ball. Well, he just caught one red. Didn't really get into the heart of him. He really wanted to catch that red half ball and then come back, but he caught it full, and then the backspin just took it away from the reds.
Yeah, it would have been ideal if he was slightly low in the black. He could actually play with almost topspin to make sure the white followed through the reds.
Judd Trump, 24.
But Judd's in this situation just now, he's just totally relaxed. There's no nerves at all about this match now. He knows he's going to win this match.
Couldn't do much to put Mark in trouble there, but the main concern was to cover the red in the baulk end. I think he's covered the potting angle. Whether he's covered it completely or not is another matter. He's played this nicely.
Touching ball.
Well, this red's running back down the table. Ooh, just caught another one, so it's run safe.
Don't think Mark can get to the right hand side of the pack, which would make getting back to back to the top cushion a lot easier. He's going to have to screw back directly here. I'll have to hit this well. Wow.
One.
Back to the red in the middle, that was a great pot.
He did hit it well. Most important thing now, can he score from that good opening red?
Mark Joyce, one.
It's a cruel game, you know. It really is. Just that little bit of tension in the arm. Ball he'd never miss in practice. You just know it.
And I think in practice he would have played into the pack from that black. It's a careless one from Judd though.
Yeah, not too difficult. Not doing right with the cue ball. I'd be surprised if the fact that his opponent's missing has just taken the edge off him slightly. Don't want to fall for that one.
One.
Lovely angle to go into the reds here. There is one that goes at the bottom of the pack to the left corner, but I'd be tempted to go into them here. Can open the bunch from this red though, and stay on the black.
Seven.
You know, you just knew that was going to happen, didn't you? You never seem to get any luck when you need it. Just drove it through and he's not on the black.
Surely you have to play that cue ball with a little bit of bottom to make sure the white comes back out of the pack. Still unlucky though, you have to say.
Yep. As I say, when you need a bit of luck, you never seem to get it. He's eyeing up this blue. Big shot to be taken on, but no option really, no other shot to go at, I don't think. I fancy playing a safety shot off the green. That's what he's having a look at now. See whether he could play the green and leave the cue ball in a safe position. So disappointing though when you've done the hard work, got the reds in the open, and you could sometimes got to bite the bullet and play safe. Or is it the blue?
Blue ball.
He's playing the blue. Well, he played the blue and tried to play safe off the blue and, well, just made a mess of it. That's all you can say.
One. Three. Four. $11. 12. $19. 20.
Takes the lead to 40 points. Could have gone wrong, but he's just about on the green. With the reds in the open, you wouldn't expect any mistakes here. As I say, it's not been all about Judd Trump. It's been mainly about Mark Joyce making mistakes.
24.
But maybe he needs time to get used to being back in the limelight after his problems.
27.
This red and even the green would be enough to leave his opponent needing snookers.
28.
Well, he might just be on the blue. If he takes the yellow, he's going to need one more red. I mean, that shouldn't be a problem, but if he pots the blue, he'll get 53 points in front with only 51 remaining. So why not play the blue?
$33. 34.
So there you see it. 61
41.
ahead, 43 remaining. No way that Mark Joyce will come back to the table now.
42.
But at least he's back in the big time, Mark Joyce, and
49.
that's another step in the right direction.
50. $55.
A little bit of what Judd describes as naughty snooker there. He tried to pot the black because he was snookered.
Mark Joyce 7.
Anyway, that's the concession, so it literally is a Sunday afternoon stroll for Judd Trump at the moment, as he leads by 3 frames to 0.
It's a little flash of the flamboyance there from Judd Trump, but it's really all about Mark Joyce from an analyst's point of view, I suppose, and some of the pickles that he's really got himself into so far, John.
Yeah, it's obviously a very big day in his snookering career, and it's looking like that, unfortunately, at the minute. He's played a black there earlier in that frame, which, you know, he could be in here all day and not miss this. And, you know, he knows straight away. I mean, you can't afford to miss those. As it happens, I'm saying that, he got away with that one because Judd went missed the red with the rest, which was unexpected, but you can see he looks like he's back in a situation he's not quite comfortable in at the moment.
And it's affecting his thought process, and there was an endless discussion in the studio here about what he was doing when he was thinking about going into the pack here.
Well, this shot here, I mean, he's run through there to try and get on the black, but if anything, he should be stunning it or screwing back because the black is on that side of the table. If he runs through, there's always the chance that you're going to cover the black, and that's exactly what happened. So his mind is a bit of a blank at the moment, and that's what happens. I mean, that first green in that first frame, if he pots that and clears up, he's a different player. And it's since affected him in frame 2 and now in this frame as well. And all of a sudden, instead of being 1 or 2-1 up, he's 3-0 down, and it's all uphill from here.
And the decision making is so crucial, I guess, in your game, John, when you're trying to keep your head clear and focus on the next few shots ahead.
Yeah, he's doing that. You know, the likes of that one's a mistake there with the pack and everything. But the other thing's he's just missing. You know, he's not putting Judd under any pressure. He's coming to the table. There's a chance in front of him, and as JV said, it's a Sunday afternoon stroll because he's not being put under anything.
Yeah, and you can't really afford to let Judd Trump relax out there, can you?
No, because once he gets into a flow, you know, he's just steamrolling. You know, once he gets into that rhythm, but. You know, important frame for Mark Joyce, has to be said. If he doesn't win this frame, you can forget about the match, you know, but it's a big frame for him.
It is indeed. I was looking actually at the stats, and it's 4 wins to 2 in Judd's favour, but we talked about Mark Joyce having that victory here a couple of years ago, and you know, we talked about this story of him being mugged a couple of years ago, and I guess that's got to affect your confidence in life and indeed as he comes back into his sport.
I mean, that's just harrowing. I mean, I can't understand why people would want to do that sort of thing, but for his point of view, I mean, he had a lot of physical ailments after that, and just to come back, what he'd have been looking at is saying it's great to be back in this venue, coming back and playing at this level again, and he'll have happy memories of the venue because obviously he did well. He reached a quarter-final a couple of years ago, so he'd have been looking forward to it. What he's not looking forward to is not producing his best, which is what's happening at the minute.
Okay, well, let's hope we can change that a bit here, get a frame on the board, and who knows what can happen thereafter.
Well, worth taking that red on. It's one of those, if you get close to the pot and the only red you're going to leave really is the one you're playing, and you got close enough. Of course, it's always the way that when you're struggling, every time you make a mistake, you just know you're going to leave your opponent with a nice easy starter. It's never been any different.
No, and I know it's easier said than done, but I would much rather just played that pot 100%, just stunned for the blue. In the end, he's played it with an element of safety and left 2 reds on anyway, so position he's in, it's 3-0 down, he's got nothing to lose. Why not just go for it?
3.
As I say, it's much easier said than done.
4.
Yeah, that's positive thoughts, which I think are the furthest thing from his mind at the moment. But as I say, it's a step on the road back. 2010, as Hazel was saying, he beat Judd in the second round. Got to the quarter-final that year. So he's got the ability, but it may just take a few more seasons to get back to being the normal Mark Joyce. We wish him well, because this match looks as though it's slipping away quickly.
$17. 18.
Needs to run on, and it hasn't.
20.
He was playing for the red, I believe, that was just above the black. Not hard enough. He's having a look at making a plant. They're certainly not on for a plant. But he's thinking of trying to make it. He's got it.
21.
I think that's a 3-0 in front plant.
Yeah, it's another sign that he doesn't think he's going to be punished if he gets missed, if he misses the shot. So he's just playing. This is almost like an exhibition match now for Judd.
$27. 28.
Careless to catch a baulk colour. Okay, he was a little bit straighter than he would have liked on the blue, but no excuse for canning the brown as full as he did. Lucky not to going off. So he's got a 33-point lead with just the safety to come. Unless there's a plant somewhere. Was there a pot? Oh, turn it in, turn it in! 34. Well, what a pot that was.
Hello, ball. $36. $37.
He hasn't exactly got the cue ball on a string at the moment, but he keeps pulling out pots.
He does. And he's looking at the cut now in normal circumstances. You say, why don't you just roll to the green? But I don't think he's in that mood. I think he's in a attack mode.
Overcut it. Judd Trump, 37.
Now, Is he going to leave anything? Well, he has. He's left a possible red to the right corner. So Mark Joyce comes to the table, 37 points behind.
One. Yeah. Three.
Not good. You may just be able to snick this red in on the right hand side of the table, but it's very, very thin. So I wouldn't have much idea where the cue ball is going to go.
Four.
Well, I know what he was going to be playing next, and that's the green.
Green ball. Mark Joyce, 4.
Not quite certain now he can hit one here. Well, I suppose the two reds in the middle of the table, if he could make a contact with those, he could leave it safe. Misjudged it.
Foul and a miss.
May have another
Mark
go
Joyce,
at that.
4.
Expect him to get closer the next time. Give us a clue of sort of what he's attempting to do here. It's just the third cushion he's got to be careful of. Too narrow again.
Foul and a miss. Mark Joyce, 4.
That's the line. Maybe he's got to finish a little bit higher down the cushion because it's coming off that second cushion and then just straightening up a little bit. That's narrow again.
Foul and a miss. Mark Joyce, 4.
Follow the line, lad. Follow the line. The first line's the important one. If you can stay on that first line, you fancy him to nestle into those reds. No, narrow again.
Foul and a miss. Mark Joyce, 4.
Of course, when you're snookered, you can have as many goals as you like. I know Mark King used to hold a record. I think, was it 14 attempts he had? I'm sure he'll be having another one.
Foul and a miss. Mark Joyce, 4.
Right, I bet he hits him this time. Well, I've lost another bet.
Foul and a miss. Mark Joyce, 4.
Gamblers Anonymous, here I come.
Well, Mark may not get an easier chance at a red than the one he just had there. Well, this could be it though.
Foul and a miss. Mark Joyce, 4.
Well, I don't exactly know what shot he's waiting for, John.
Well, he might be waiting for the fact that Judd gives him so many foul points away that Judd will need a snooker. How many attempts is this?
What cushion do I hit?
Well, at least Judd can see the funny side of it, as can Mark. 8th attempt. Well, this could be close. This could be close. Will it run? Will it run? Oh!
Foul and a miss.
And a
Mark
miss.
Joyce, 4.
At least he knows the line now.
Well, after the 9th attempt, I'd expect him to, Stephen. Trouble is, you can hit it a bit harder, they react a bit different off the cushions. Does it reach? Does it reach? He hit it. He hit it. It's not a touching ball, it hardly moved. Let's have a look. Can we see it? Oh, it just rocked. But at the end of that, Mark Joyce is now only 1 point behind, and he's snookered him again, has he? Played that well. Could have done with this in a little bit thinner. If he had done, he'd have found the baulk cushion rather than the baulk line. So there's a chance of a pot here for Mark. Choice, right corner, left corner. Be a nice one to knock in though. No, much too thin. Well, it's one of those you think the only red you can leave is the one you're playing, and that's exactly what he's done. So Mark Joyce pots this red, makes the points level.
1.
Nicely on the pink, and with these 4 reds that are in and around the black, and what will be the pink when it's respotted, then every chance to win this frame. Can he keep himself together? Couldn't wish for a better opportunity than this.
7.
Maybe could have done with coming a bit further down, because the only red he's on is the one just above the black, and you feel him playing that he's bound to run into the black. So not only got to get the pot, he's got to judge the reaction of where the black's going to finish. It's now tricky.
Eight.
Well, it's in, but this is a testy little cutback on the black. Good shot.
15.
3 reds, 3 colours, and he'd have his first frame on the scoreboard.
$16.
Just went in. Looked wide, didn't it?
23.
Any harder, it wouldn't have gone in.
$24.
The black and the last red to leave Judd Trump needing a snooker. $30 points to lead, 35 remaining. Pot the red, go 31 ahead, 27 left. It's there.
52.
Well, this is certainly going to make Mark feel an awful lot better.
39.
OK, he'll reflect on chances that he missed early on in the match, but at least he's got his first frame on the scoreboard and he can settle down a little bit.
$41.
But it just shows you, doesn't it? You get a snooker, and he got 32 points from that one snooker. Missed the green, but I don't think Judd will bother carrying on. No, he's had enough. 40 behind, only 25 left. Well, Mark Joyce has got a frame on the scoreboard, which could settle him slightly, but still a long way to come back as Judd Trump leads at the mid-session interval, 3 frames to 1.
And I think it's time for John and Ken to sum up those first 4 frames to us.
Well, first 3 were relatively easy for Judd because of Mark's inability just to settle down into that match. 3-1, only 2 behind going to it was much better. 1 or 2 little incidents there where you think Judd's just taken a couple of liberties, to be honest with you. I know he's potted a long red there, but he could have rolled him up, played the green, rolled him up behind one of the colours there and snookered him, decided to take the blue on. So it's one of those things, you live and die by your decisions, but Judd will be happy with 3-1, and in a bizarre sort of way, Mark will be after being 3-0 behind.
Yeah, indeed, and Mark's just come back in here just to have a quick knock on the table there, just to keep the arm in. Judd just behind us as well. Kenny, your assessment?
Yeah, I think, as I said, he needed that frame, Mark Joyce. I think if he lost that frame, he couldn't really see a way back, but that will certainly settle him, and he's been through a lot, and it is very, very tough. You're playing #1 seed here, so it is very, very tough. You have to take everything into consideration, but I think he'd be pleased to get that frame on the board, and he's still in the match at 3-1.
Okay, it's all right. We're going to check on events on table 2 because, as you know, Steve Davis is playing there, and we've been working with Steve as part of the BBC team here for something like 10 years now, and it's been amazing to see him juggle both roles as player and pundit, and it's been amazing actually to see just how enthusiastic he's been about doing both roles. I think that's fair to say. He is an incredible fella, because when you think about it, it was 7 years ago he got to his 100th major final in this UK Championship, and he's won this title more times than anyone else, 6 times. He might say that playing the game now is kind of a hobby, and indeed he's got a hobby mentality towards it, but he's still got the class.
The 1980 United Kingdom professional champion, Steve Davis.
A few more shillings in the bank for Steve Davis, the world's most successful player.
Steve Davis has now won the United Kingdom Championship 6 times.
The UK back in the 80s was always considered, I think, the sort of the yardstick for what players were playing the best snooker at that time. So I was pretty proud to have won the UK plenty of times in the 80s. My job now, I suppose, is realigned really, survival. Once you're involved in snooker, it's in your blood, you can't get out of it in one way, shape or form. So at some stage in the past, when I was asked, would you like to be involved in a presentation team, it seemed a natural progression. Looking back now, I think it's helped my longevity within the game. I've watched more snooker than I would have done if I'd have just been sitting around at home. And I think I've learned from the modern day players of the game. Sophistication of shot selection, break building, and effectively how we go about the game. So that has helped in some ways. My biggest problem is actually that I suppose now, even with all of the tournaments I've won, is getting into an event, getting match play, getting the match confidence, and that's a struggle. It is for all the players. We're all struggling for the same final stages. But I nearly had a chance in York a few years ago against Ding in the final, but it's getting harder to get to the final stages, that's for sure. It's getting tough to qualify as well, but one win can change things. So from my perspective, if I can beat Ali Carter, then all of a sudden, who knows, I'm off and running. They're big ifs these days, but best of 11, it's not unheard of.
He's got more than just survival, I suspect, on his mind today. Fuelled, I'm sure, with the memory of a win over Ali in the Welsh Open at the start of the year. Stevie taking on the 2-time World Championship runner-up today. Well, it took them 41 minutes to sort out the first frame. Carter claimed that. And this is frame 2. Steve 47 points behind, and it's Willie Thorne and Neil Foulds taking care of this one.
Well, in the good old days, you'd have fancied Davis knocking this in. But you can see the difference over the years. That's what happens to the older players. You'll notice that with all the players over 40 that are still playing competitively, the long game disappears.
One. Six. Seven.
So 58-point lead, just having a quick look at the scoreboard will tell him he can get away with 2 more reds and 2 colours, and that will take him into a 2-0 lead.
Nine.
It's one of those occasions where it's not too bad if it's straight, but the pink's slightly in the way with the screw back to come out for that red, but they should be able to force it there without a problem. That's the reason he didn't use the cushion, just because the pink was in the way.
17. That
was a frame ball. He was careless in the opening frame. Doesn't want to miss anything easy, because you know that Steve will carry on.
$25. 26. 33. 34.
It was always to that right jaw as we were looking. First frame took 41 minutes. This one done and dusted in 9 minutes so far. And of course Davis will not come back to the table this time. So a bit of a contrast.
41. 42.
Yes, he looks very good in the balls, Ali, doesn't he? Always has done. Gets a little bit fed up sometimes. I mean, run of the ball plays a big part in Ali's game. If people have a couple of flukes against him, he's been known to have his head drop and think,
49.
you know, why me sometimes? But when things are going his own way, he's a real handful.
50.
So most of the public watching now are aware that he suffered with Crohn's disease for a few years, and that
55.
The pain he used to be in was excruciating
56.
sometimes when he played, he was telling us, and he's done really well to get himself fit again. His diet now is not something we'd like to have now. He's not allowed to eat any dairy or anything like that. He eats all sorts of strange things, but
61.
that's what he has to do to keep fit.
63. 66.
Like being in the jungle on Ali's diet at the minute. A few witchetty grubs now and again, they're alright, aren't they, those things?
70.
'Looking good now, though.
75. 81.
Well, it started with a break of 47. It looks like finishing with 88. Ali Carter wins that frame without reply, 139 points to 0. If that's something that's going to come, Davis is going to have to be very, very careful. It's Carter, 2-0.
Well, the pattern of this match is slow, quick, slow, because frame 3 is already 39 minutes old as we join it now. And Steve Davis is 5 points in front, but this is his second attempt to get out of a snooker.
Yeah. Ali? Foul. And the miss.
He would have to move the blue again, wouldn't he?
Ali Carter.
Well, Carter's just come out of his chair, I think, as a token attempt, really, to let anyone think they had any interest whatsoever in playing it. But, Steve, Mark III here, got all the fishing tackle out the lot. He got very close to it last time. And
Yeah.
Aaron Williams, again, looking at that screen. So, this time, he hits it and he flukes a snooker. Ali Carter, that smile from Ali. It's one of them smiles that you don't think he means sometimes. He's, to be fair, he's taking it well because he's in trouble now. I feel this frame will revolve around the green and who pots it.
Two. Is it hard enough? Not quite. So only a safety shot now. He's got to be careful he doesn't kiss the black with the green if he plays in behind brown and blue. Can't afford to bring the black into play. He's playing on a very, very thin one round behind the pink, amazingly enough. And it's very close, I'll tell you. It's
Steve
very,
Davis,
very
two.
close. What a great effort. Unlucky. Oh, what a mistake that is. Now, funny enough, when the balls are this near the pocket, it's strange. It's quite easy to leave the cue ball right at the bottom of the table and not get on the brown, so it's not guaranteed to get on this.
Problem is, it's just an awkward shot now. It's too straight. Brown's away from its spot slightly. I think it would be a good shot if he lands on the brown.
Yes, it's one of those where it's better to put bottom on the ball than top, because it means that the white will come off with top spin on. If you put top on, it comes off with bottom spin on when it hits the cushion. Is he playing the direct screw? Yeah, put bottom on there. You see, that's about as good as he could have done.
Three.
It's an excellent shot. It really was.
I agree. I mean, it didn't get any applause. It's one of those shots that may have not have looked much, but as you say, that was terrific. And that could well be a frame winner. It's the second frame already over 40 minutes in this match. If Steve doesn't win it, then it's a lot of trouble without anything to show for it.
So
he only wants blue and pink.
Yes, if the blue goes in, it seems a natural two-cushion shot to be able to get on the pink. You never play this one cushion because you're risking going near the cushion, so you always play it two cushions, because once it's left that second cushion, it's going to be perfect. Just a fraction hard up.
No, that was a frame to win. Ali
frame.
Carter wins
Ali
a long,
Carter.
drawn-out third frame. A frame that Steve Davis really should have won. He was a long way in front. And here's Ali Carter now 3-0 up.
And they are currently in the last frame before their interval. If you would like to keep tabs on that, you can be our guest. These are the ways of letting you do that. In addition to BBC Two's extensive coverage, you can watch uninterrupted live matches from both tables through your connected TV, your computer, tablet or mobile phone, with the red button always keeping you in touch with the best of the action.
A really close finale in store here between these two players.
There'll also be regular updates on Radio 5 Live, and click onto the BBC Sport website for the latest on-demand highlights, news and interviews from here at the Barbican Centre. so you can stay connected very easily indeed. Very much dialed into both of these matches this afternoon. John and Ken, assessment of the way the Carter-Davis match is going.
Steve has had his chances, there's no doubt about that, but when he's getting his chance, he's just not scoring enough, and that's the problem. And I think that's the problem as you sort of get a little bit older, that you don't sort of take as many of your chances that you get, and you don't score as heavily. And I think that's his tactical game is always there, and he's always going to create chances for himself. And the longer the match goes on, the better probably for Steve Davis. These long drawn-out frames, the better Steve Davis's chances are. But he has to, when he gets a chance, make the most of it and score.
Oh yeah, he's certainly tied Ali up a couple of times in the strategic department, hasn't he? Laid some great snookers.
He has indeed. Well, I mean, listen, he's got ring craft. He's an old boxer. He knows the way around there. But from Ali's point of view, what you'd say is, as long as you are committed to the safety battles and you do 100% and give them, then you're probably going to be the favourite, because you know you're a heavier scorer than Steve at the moment. But you know, he won't give in, the old fox, will he?
No, he certainly won't. And he's just actually had his highest break of the match so far, a knock of 40. So that's what's happening over there. But we're straight back into table 1 now, as the players come back out to complete their match in this best of 11 first round match. It's Judd Trump with a 3-1 advantage over Mark Joyce. Mark with that frame on the board just before the interval. I'm sure that settled him down a little. Remains to be seen how he responds from here on in. So let's head back to Stephen and John.
Frame 5, Judd Trump to break.
Thank you, Hazel. As Judd Trump gets frame 5 underway. Probably just relaxed a little bit in the frame before the mid-session interval. So anyway, he's had 15 minutes just to get his focus back. Can't take liberties at this game. Don't care who you are. And it looks as though Mark can just get past the blue to pot this red. Well, he could. Now, where's the red finish? Over the middle. Might just a run past the middle pocket. Yeah, just run past, so it wasn't possible.
Big target behind the green and brown here. Swing the white round of 3 cushions.
Just a bit thin, but it was slightly awkward queuing. I'm just having a good close look at this cluster. Is there a plant? Oh, 5-ball plant. Surely not. Let's have another look at it. Depends really how close the 2 reds closest to the pocket are together, because it can push it the other way. It looks dead set. If it's dead set, then I can't see it going in the right corner pocket. It'll be pushed over. He wants to play it though, doesn't he? The reds will be going everywhere if he does. He's taking it on. I don't think he'll go in myself. Nope. He was always going to push to the other side.
Yeah, and you're talking about taking liberties. I feel that was one there. I never looked on that plan.
One.
I think Judd feels he's got to get this match won as quick as possible. You've just got to give it 100% respect and just win the match.
Yeah, as I say, you can't disrespect your opponent because, as I've said many, many times, no matter how good you are, if you sit in your chair and the other fella's at the table, there's nothing you can do about it. And Mark Joyce is capable. Okay, he struggled so far in the match, but that's not to say he'll keep struggling. And he's been gifted a great opening here. That's a poor shot.
7.
Wanted to be straight on this pink to the left corner. Okay, he might have a saving grace that there's a red in the balk end, but he should have been straighter on this pink. He managed just to wobble it in, and it turned out it wasn't a bad kiss on the red. At least he's knocked it into a potable position. This pink struggled in, which is why he didn't go around the back of the red as he would have liked.
$14.
Choice of reds to the left corner.
18.
Not really ideal. He's got a little bit. The only reason I say it's not ideal, I expect him not to miss the red, but he's got a little bit of work to do with the cue ball. Just down on the shot, then got up. There's a little bit of movement from the other table. Just at their mid-section interval, so there's a bit of movement. Didn't put him off. Played the pot nicely, but as I say, it was just one of those where he needed a bit better position. He's come too straight on the blue to get close to the next red. Another little tester.
24.
This pot made slightly easier that he can play for the pink in the right corner, so he doesn't have to really concentrate on getting right side of the blue this time. The pink's much easier to play for.
Mark Joyce, 24. As quiet as possible, please.
As I say, there's a disturbance on the other side of the arena, but I didn't expect him to miss that.
One.
But as you said a few frames ago, Stephen, the fact that Judd was going all out attack, he wasn't particularly concerned that his opponent was going to score too many when he got in.
Yeah, we talk about you have to treat your player opponent with respect, but at the moment Mark doesn't take chances like that. I don't think he's earning Judd's respect at the minute.
4.
Judd's just going to keep playing his usual game.
Trying to clear the black spot area.
11.
It's not ideal, not just yet.
Can play a cannon on the 2 reds. They left the black off this red.
12.
Shows the less risky option, but he's landed a bit straight in the blue. So he's choosing to play the pink for a red into the same pocket.
$18. 19.
Well, that's not a bad little nudge. Certainly
25.
didn't play it like that, but he'll take it. Funny enough, the red he cannoned into, he was playing for the left corner pocket. Just didn't get into it enough, but no harm done.
26.
But still not got pinpoint position with that cue ball at the moment. Well, it was a very good attempt, and it's pretty good. Maybe just a fraction more with the cue ball would have made this pot unmissable. He's going to have to play with a little bit of pace to go up for the pink or blue.
Thank you. 32.
It's not getting any easier though. 8-point lead now, but he needs a couple of good positional shots to win the frame at this visit. This looks a little bit pacey to me.
37.
Now this is a tricky red. You feel it'll take it on, but it's not a certainty. Played it nicely though. And played that superbly.
44.
So good angle on the blue.
$45.
Quick glance at the scoreboard shows him he's 26 points ahead, 51 remaining, so still needs 2 reds, 2 colours.
51.
And I don't think these reds are available, so he's going to have to play a little cannon here. Just got to avoid the pink if he's playing the cannon. Well, maybe this red goes, or maybe it was just a poor attempt at the cannon.
56.
Can't believe this red goes. I'm sure he'd have played for it before. No, it doesn't go. So he played the cannon and was a long way off it. .32 lead, but still 43 remaining. He'd love to try and get the cue ball back to the balk end, but is it too risky to play that? On the other hand, he just doesn't want to roll to these reds. He leaves an easy safety shot for his opponent.
Trump, 56.
Yeah, you give it lots of thought, and I'll tell you what, that's a clever shot. Well played. What he's got to try and hit is the 1 second left of the black. He doesn't want to hit the one immediately next to the black because the chance he could leave the other one on. He wants to hit this pretty full. Oh well.
Oh, a miss. Judd Trump, 4.
Does this red go? It may well do, you know. And if it does, that's a poor shot. Yes, it goes. Well, he got a kick, but that red was all he needed. He's put him 37 points in front with just 35 remaining. The way it jumped, he's lucky it went in the pocket. Anywhere near the brown and you get the snooker.
Green ball. Judd Trump, 1.
Well, he's got the snooker that way. It's not an easy one, but without a snooker for his opponent, that's Judd Trump 4-1 in front. A good hit. 37 points behind is Mark Joyce. 43 remaining. Sorry, 35 remaining. I mean, one snooker, it's not beyond the realms of possibility.
Well, he's shown today that he has got a good safety game. So certainly would have given the ghost up in this frame yet.
I think he's playing the pot here, isn't he? Playing for the colour.
1.
I'm trying to get that one snooker on the colours. Can't blame him for that. And where that green is, it's not a bad ball to consider snookering behind. So I'll pot the pink, get a nice angle on the yellow. Oh well, I'd have been trying to get the snooker off the yellow behind the green. Well, he's left himself now. I'll have to pot the yellow. And it's just one less ball to snooker behind.
Nine.
So it looks like the right half of the green, twice across the table, and white in behind the black. The green hopefully somewhere behind the brown.
Pretty good line.
Mark Joyce, 9.
But not hard enough. And there's always a gap in there. Well, he tried to get the snooker behind the brown, but I don't think it's quite there. No, Judd can get through to pot this. Well, if he's got the snooker, he's very lucky. Well, that's made it interesting. That brown going near the blue. If at some time Mark Joyce could pot the green, it would be an easy snooker to lay. Didn't play the pot on the green that time. Could nestle up behind the pink here. He was thinking black, but pink will do. And as I say, if he did get a chance to pot the green, he could lay a very good snooker from brown to blue. Kiss on the black isn't that helpful. Just really means there's one less snooker ball to snooker behind. But he's not out of this frame by any means. Well, the green's not in, but he's played it at such a pace that it come on and off the baulk cushion, so it's safe enough. Clever shot. May force Judd to bring the black away from the cushion here. But he's played it well. didn't want that. Although the brown is still close to the blue, but I fancy Judd knocking this in. Well, he played it in such a way that if it didn't go in, he'd get the cannon on the brown and a possible snooker behind the blue. That was intentional. So how do you like it? You need a snooker, and you're snookered. Good hit, and got it safe, which was the most important thing. So still hanging on in there.
Yeah, a little bit unlucky, just clipped the black back onto the cushion again.
Well, I understand why he's played it dead weight. He didn't want to leave the pot on, but he's handing the initiative now to his opponent. I mean, Judd could even play the pot here. No. Seemed to just drift away from the cushion slightly there, didn't it? Well, there's the chance. Now, not seen a lot of... I don't think he was ever in, but look, it just seemed to move away. Now, has he got the cue power to play the deep screw to get back where that cue ball is now? Oh, beautifully played. And now, can he drop this cue ball tight behind the blue?
Yeah. Tight's the important word. He needs to be touching this blue to make the snooker difficult.
Mark Joyce,
very good. Don't know if the pink covers the route to the right hand side of the table or not.
Yeah, it may well have done. And the two cushion escape, the black might be in the way. This is missable. And just one snooker needed. Oh, good hit. Good hit. Now, Mark would love to keep this brown on the table, you know, because if he pots the brown, the black's close to the cushion, he's only got really the pink to snooker behind.
Yeah, the only thing is if he pots the brown, he could perhaps can across to the black, try and bring it away from the cushion. But then does he snooker himself in the blue, behind the pink?
Oh, that's the problem, isn't it? I think that may have been in his mind. The only thing is, if you did get that cue ball sort of tight to the black, it'd be a bit of a snooker. Wow.
Mark Joyce
Misjudged that completely. Believe it or not, he tried to knock the blue into the black. That's how badly he misjudged it. And he won't be getting another chance now, because that blue puts Judd Trump 26 points in front with just 13 remaining. Frame over. And finishing with a naughty pink, and we're going to see a naughtier black, it appears. Attention all pockets.
Judd Trump 11 and 2.
So Judd Trump won it eventually, but Mark Joyce did have chances. But Judd Trump now stretches his lead to 3 and leads 4-1.
Floyd Mayweather. I'd say just the way he's like dominated his sport really, and a lot of people don't like him, but like he's a completely different person off like outside of the ring to inside the ring, and he just lets his boxing do the talking, and like the way he trains, like there's no shortcuts and stuff like that. So hopefully I try and apply that in my practice, like on the table. I try to be the best I can be. Just that cockiness he's got. He knows that he's the best, and I think that scares other people. Like they go in there wanting to beat him too badly, and he just does his thing and just beats them up.
Floyd Mayweather, great boxer, great boxer. My favourite boxer, Sugar Ray Leonard. Just loved his style, the panache. Funny enough, my two favourite boxers in their two best fights got beat. Muhammad Ali, when he lost to Joe Frazier, I thought it was one of the best fights I've ever seen. And of course, Sugar Ray Leonard when he lost to Roberto Duran.
Frame 6.
They both won the rematches,
Joyce
but
to break.
those first two fights they had were sensational. You like boxing?
Rocky's my favourite boxer.
Oh, well, he was unbeatable, Rocky, wasn't he? And then they send him in the jungle and he'll do anything. Yeah, Rocky Balboa. Hey, Adrian. Well, another long pot missed. His long pot's success hasn't been great. We know that's one of his strengths. But there you see, he's only at 47%. 7 out of 15 he's knocked in.
1.
He's been in first a few frames in this match, Mark Joyce, but hasn't taken advantage.
5.
I think that's the most frustrating thing, I think, if he loses his match today, is he hasn't played his natural game. He's obviously a top-class professional.
Six.
If he can just make one frame-winning break, might put a little bit of pressure on Judd. You never know.
Yeah, his highest break at the moment is only at 41. That won't win a frame. As you say, he needs that little bit of confidence. But he's been in the wilderness for a while, so he's just getting his way back into the game.
Well,
has he run out of position? I think he has. I don't think he's on the black. That's amazing, isn't it? Well, we saw his cue power in the last frame when he played a deep screw, funnily enough, on the green. So he's going to have to produce one here if he's going to get this cue ball back on a red, if he does play the green.
Blue ball.
No, just playing safe off the blue.
Mark Joyce, 12.
Another good opportunity that he's missed. Just gnaw away at your confidence. Nice pops. Cue ball needs to slow up if he's going to be on a colour. Maybe have a thin clip at the blue. Is he hard enough? Don't think he's on anything.
6.
That'll annoy him. The fact that he took the tricky blue on, he would love to have been on a red after it. He's on one here, but there's no guarantee position. Just a deep screw, pretty much a hit and hope.
Trump 6.
It's called forcing it. It's funny when you look at the any sport now. You look at football; they go on possession, you know, and our equivalent is table time. And if you look at the table time, there's hardly anything in it. 51% Judd and 49% Mark. Okay, Mark's table time might be a little bit more because he's a bit slower on the average shot time, but
8.
Since Judd went 3-0 in front, he's certainly had plenty of chances. And this is another good one.
9. $16. $17.
And that's been part of his problem. Every time he's got in, within a couple of shots, he's had to go up for the blue or ball colour. He's just not finishing correctly on each ball that he plays for.
Yeah, but it just falls on and you're a bit tentative. You're making certain of the pot, and of course, if you concentrate too much on the pot, then the positional side of the play will suffer.
23.
I think all 3 reds pot to the left corner, also a red to the right corner, so he's got a big margin of error here to get on a red.
$27.
You certainly think he could or should win the frame at this visit, but what we've seen before will take nothing for granted, and of course neither will Mark.
$28. Yeah.
Well, I thought there was an opportunity there to run round off 2 cushions, play for
45.
either red into the left middle. He stunned it off the top cushion. He's not perfect on this red. I wouldn't expect him to miss it, but it's a little bit trickier than it should have been.
Mark Joyce, 35.
Anything that's been a little bit awkward, you've just had that worry that you may miss it. And that was always on the near jaw. But definite signs that Judd has just gone off the boil slightly.
And you can tell when Judd goes back to his chair, his focus isn't really on this match 100%. He's not looking at the table when he's at his chair, he's looking at the other match, he's looking around, so. But he's not been put under enough pressure to make him concentrate properly here in this match yet.
I'm trying to bring those two reds into play. Lucky he didn't leave that red, but he's left an easy safety shot. We look at the match time, just over 2 hours. Well, he's left a chance of a pot here, the red in the middle of the table. Of course, if he knocks it in, the green's there waiting, but shouldn't have left this chance. But not close, really.
One.
Very nice pot. Needs to slow up. Just concentrated on the pot. Thought he was bound to be on the green. How wrong can you be? There's a chance of a black in the left middle. Is that too risky? He's got a 42-point lead.
Mark Joyce, 1.
Well, decided to play safe, but it wasn't much of a gap, was it, between pink and blue? There's always a danger of that. But at the moment, Judd Trump's long potting is not there. That's 50%.
1.
So, pot this pink, go 49 points in front. Still be 59 remaining. So this pink, one more red and a colour would do it.
May choose to cannon the two reds that are together off two cushions here.
Seven.
Probably the reason he didn't play the cannon because he only needs this red and a colour, but he should have been better on it than this. But it's there. And when he pots the green, he'll be 53 points in front with just 51 remaining.
I stand corrected, John. That was the wrong shot to play the cannon.
11.
You heard it here first, folks. Well, that will encourage Judd to carry
Joyce,
on.
11.
Just 53 points behind, 51 remaining, one snooker needed. It was a good effort, but it was asking a lot to get the snooker there, behind the black.
Judd was in two minds of conceding there. Just get on with the next frame.
As I say, just one snooker needed. It's not beyond the realms of possibility. And being left-handed, I know he's playing this one right-handed, but he could get on the black.
1.
He can afford a pink and still only need one snooker. This looks like the perfect cannon. Perfect cannon! Wonderful!
7.
Now, if he's going to keep it at one snooker, he cannot play anything but blacks off these two remaining reds. Well, decided to try and play the snooker with the last red still on the table. I've got to be honest with you, it wouldn't have been my choice there. I'd have potted the black, gone on the red.
15.
Another red and a black. Because while that red's near the black, it's easy, but as I say, he's got to get the black off this last red at some time.
Got Trump, 15.
He didn't get the snooker. Don't know why he tried to play it off the last red. If you need a couple of snookers, then you're thinking maybe possibility of a free ball, but only one snooker. Get that red and black you need. Played the double. He's hoping it goes in. If it doesn't, he'll have a snooker. It didn't go in, but he's got the snooker. And as I say, the problem is, even if Judd can hit this, if he doesn't get the black off it, he'll need two snookers. And there you go, he's well on the black. Even if he pots the blue, he'll still need two snookers. That puts him 28 Sorry, 32 points behind with just 27 remaining. He's looking at the scoreboard now closely. Maybe should have looked at it before he played the black early on. 2 snookers needed. Unless you put the yellow, green and brown, then 1 snooker to tie on the blue. That looks to be plan B.
$11. $15.
So now 23 points behind, 18 remaining, 1 snooker to tie. If he pots the blue, he'll just need 1 snooker to win on the pink, but I'm against that, because you've only got the 1 ball to snooker behind. And the one thing when you're playing the snookers, it's imperative you get the object ball safe. Well, it may be safe, because I don't think Mark will risk playing the cut on this blue. Worst thing you could do is play the cut and running off. Well, he did going off with the double kiss. No, left the blue on, he'll be going for this one. And if it goes in, end of frame. So he's decided to put all his eggs in one basket. Honestly believe when there's only the pink and black on the table, you're lucky to get 1 chance to play the snooker.
Trump.
But that's all he needed. It's a good one. The only thing that makes it a little bit easier, and I know the pink's away from the cushion, but it is a 1 cushion escape, which makes it a little bit easier.
Previous snookers in this match, though, his knowledge of the angles hasn't looked good. He's missed some pretty straightforward ones, so.
As I say, if you're playing off 1 cushion, it's certainly a lot easier. I remember that incident early on in the match you're referring to, Stephen, when he was trying to hit the brown. And he misjudged the 2 cushion escape badly on 3 occasions. Finished up costing him the frame.
Mark will be trying to keep as much distance between the 2 balls as possible, which obviously makes Judd's task of getting a snooker a lot harder.
And that's one way to cut out the middleman. If they do the snooker, you get a snooker against them. So just hit and hope here. Hang on. Should be snookered again here, Judd. Another hit and hope coming up. Is it hard? You never know where they'll go. Keeps getting that double kiss, and when you get a double kiss, you're never certain where the cue ball's going to finish. Very difficult to lay a snooker of the pink in this position. I'll tell you what, he's made a pretty good attempt at it. That is superb. That is superb. And the one cushion escape is really not there. It's going to have to be a two cushion escape. And this is what he was misjudging early on in the match. This is definitely missable. There is a one cushion escape, but with the pink being in the middle of the table, there it is. It's not a certainty to hit this.
And yeah, that was shot of the championship so far for me. The black is in such a difficult position to get a snooker. Not even get a snooker, but a good one. That was a phenomenal touch there.
So it's the two cushion escape. It's one of these, if you put a trace too much right hand side on it, you can miss it quite easily, and he'll be playing with a tracer side. And he's missed it. And funnily enough, if we cast our mind back to when he was missing the brown of those two cushions, he came inside it again. Well, from nowhere, Judd Trump can win this frame if he pots pink and black. Pink's close to the middle if it runs. Well, I don't think Mark was waving it on to go in. He wanted to wave it on to be potable. It's just not run far enough. Just a containing safety, no real pressure on the safety now for Judd. Although with these type of shots, you've got to judge the pace of them well. You really want to knock it towards the corner pocket.
It's one of the positions where the double is almost easier than the safety shot. If he tries to just play the pink half ball into the baulk cushion, that could easily go wrong.
Well, that's what he played in the end, and doesn't put any pressure on your opponent, leaving him so close, cue ball and object ball, so you'd expect a better safety shot than that from Judd. Didn't play the pot. But I must admit, I think he played to hit the pink a little bit thicker than that. He wanted to come off the baulk cushion, side cushion, and back into the middle of the baulk cushion. He caught it too thin, that's why it just caught the jaws. This is cuttable. Does he fancy it? He does, and it's there, and it's not enough, so he's won the frame eventually. It was in the balance for a long while, but he's hanging on in there, is Mark Joyce. Trail 3-0. It's now 4-2.
It's a question, isn't it? How much more excitement can we take this year? It's been absolutely phenomenal. I'm not sure who I would pick for Sports Personality of the Year, but who's your man in snooker this year of 2012, John?
Well, I'm going to go for my old mate, Stuart Bingham, because I think it's a phenomenal story. He's been a pro for quite a long time. To win 3 times in one season is a phenomenal achievement. Nice lad, great player, and well done to him.
And one of the guys that we were talking about, Ken, who's benefiting from this is very packed snooker schedule that's now on the go.
Absolutely, yeah. Plays in everything as well, you know. He's not afraid to travel, and he's always been like that, even as an amateur. Played in umpteen pro-ams just to get experience, and he's one of those late developers in the game, you know. He must be 30 years of age now, so he's coming to the fore at, you would say, at a late stage, but I mean he's played fantastic over the last 12 months, and yeah, good luck to him. Won his first ranking tournament down in Australia and has never really looked back since.
Okay, yeah, you're in agreement with John, but is there anyone who would usurp?
Well, I mean, Judd Trump has obviously got to be up there, you know, getting to world #1, you know, win the UK Championship. Ronnie O'Sullivan winning the World Championship as well. It was a great performance.
Can I have another late vote? I'm going to vote for Ken Doherty, because at his age to make a maximum is unbelievable. I'm still not believing that. It's definitely a bust.
The pockets were that size.
He said he had a 147. That was the room next to 149, I'm sure of it.
But as you said, Judd Trump is certainly going to be in amongst those at the top, right at the top as he is now. But this is beginning to be a little frustrating for him. Looked like he was perhaps losing a bit of focus in that last frame.
Yeah.
Clearly, Ken, but fought tooth and nail there, only to lose
yeah,
it.
but you know, as Stephen said, he's taking liberties a little bit, you know, because his opponent is not really putting him under enough pressure. But that'll be a slight wake-up call, losing that frame, because he did have a good chance. Yeah, you're going to play on when you only need one snooker, and he laid a really good snooker and should have probably got the pink. But you can't take liberties with this game against anybody. It doesn't matter how bad your opponent is playing, because the balls have an uncanny way of coming back to haunt you, no matter who you're playing. Now, whether it's in this match or another match, but when you start taking liberties, it does come back, and it can come back to haunt you.
I suspect you might be talking about a 5-volt plant earlier in
Yeah,
this
absolutely.
match.
Yeah.
Okay, John, here we go. It's 4-2, Judd Trump, and he's got to get the head down here and get this one finished.
Yeah, you don't want to be, 4-3 is a totally different game, so you've got to be careful.
Back we go then.
On Joyce, 4.
Yeah, you join us as Judd just trying to trickle off the reds, missed them completely. Here we go.
If I was in Judd's shoes with that shot, I'd be opening the pack up, screwing the white back to the top cushion. Get the game open. Put the pressure on your opponent. I don't see why he wants to play containing safety shots at this stage of the game.
Yep. Couldn't agree with you more.
It's not as if he hasn't got the cue power to do it.
Maybe he's just taking stock of the situation now and realises he's let his opponent slightly back in the match and doesn't want to take, as you said, any more liberties.
I just think the only way that Joyce is going to win this match is if it goes scrappy for the rest of the game. That's why I think it's important. Judd just opens the whole thing up, plays to his strengths.
One.
Good pot. And has landed on the yellow. If it's too straight, he won't be able to get on the next red so easy. A little shaken. Well, he's got a slight angle. I have to force this, so he's got to be very accurate. Be playing this with pace. Played it well.
Hey.
I think what can also happen as well when you get desperate to get the match over, you start quickening up your pace when you get in, don't you? And you just lose your balance. You know, you need to have a rhythm that they're used to. It's all becoming a little bit messy.
Yeah, his timing's off at the minute when he's playing the longer distance shots. He's hitting them rather than letting the cue do the work. And that's all from a bit of frustration, a bit of lack of concentration, thinking this match should have been over perhaps.
One.
Well, probably if he'd have hit the black in the middle of the pocket, he may well have avoided the kiss on that red. But he just hit it a little bit too full. Well, it went in the middle of the pocket, so maybe the angle wasn't there. Maybe he needed to try and widen the angle with a bit more pace. Anyway, whatever.
Mark Joyce, 8.
Just 8 points from that decent opportunity. But the opportunities are coming thick and fast at the moment. Well, he's had to look to see if there's a red that will go into the right corner. All looks very tight. Looks to have a straightforward safety on. Doesn't want to catch the bump in the middle. And that's what he's done. Well, there's another chance for Mark.
One.
Struck that one nicely. Top side of the blue. I'd like to play for the red that's below the black. There is a gap there in between the pink and the 3 reds to come down and play for that red.
Well, I could only assume he played the cannon on the 3 reds, just didn't catch him full enough to hold the cue ball. This red's still on, but there's a little bit of work to do with the cue ball. Well, he didn't intend to kiss the black, but he couldn't have worked out better, really. He's got a nice angle on the blue. Wanted to avoid the black, but it's not worked out too bad. Highest break still only 41. Wow.
Mark Joyce, 12.
You had a chance there, Mark, to get right back in this match.
He just never seems to get in a rhythm, John, where you think he's going to score heavily. It seems to be all, you know, there's no real flow when he gets in.
Yeah, I think he's been tentative from frame one, hasn't he? And of course, missing that green in the first frame when he looked like he was going to clear up to win it. I don't think he's ever got over that, really. It certainly didn't help his confidence.
And certainly that break up to the point of missing that green, that's certainly the most comfortable he's looked in the match when he's been in the balls.
14. 15.
And here it is, green that would have clinched the first frame, and it's left a deep scar. It's lasted for the rest of the match.
$22. 23. $50. 31. $38.
Always had the insurance of the red over the right centre and playing in that cannon.
39.
Looks straightforward now for 5-2.
Yes, he went off the boil, but unfortunately Mark was unable to capitalise on it. And now you don't expect him to make any mistakes in this frame, because the one thing he has done, he has scored. I mean, he's made 100 break. He's made a couple of breaks over 50, which isn't vintage Judd-Trump by any means, but it'll be enough to win this frame, you would have thought. There you see, 31 ahead, 59 remaining. Just basically 2 more reds. High value colours, that's all that's needed.
53.
Perfect angle on the blue. Can't see any problems now.
58.
So red and the black will put him
59.
45 points in front with just 43 remaining, but the way the reds are situated, I'll be very surprised if Mark Joyce gets back to the table. I suppose, Stephen, in a way, it's nice to have that air and to be relaxed and play it as though it's an exhibition, which he seemed to do once he went 3-0 in front.
67.
But it's amazing how this game can catch up with you, and he's left a lot of chances for Mark Joyce. He's just not been punished.
Yeah, we talk about Judd Trump still early in his career, and I think that's another thing you learn. You learn to really punish your opponents, to really kick them when they're down, rather than take your foot off the gas
74.
a bit. And that'll come, and when that comes, he's going to be very dangerous.
Foul.
Oh, well,
Trump 74.
didn't matter.
Joyce 6.
Frame was well and truly over. Mark Joyce once again had a couple of chances, he didn't take them, and this time Judd Trump does do the business, and he's now one frame away from a place in the last 16. 5-2. Yeah, took his foot off the pedal and gave his opponent plenty of chances, but unfortunately, and here's a sort of catalogue of misses from Mark. Just needed the green, brown and blue there.
Yeah, he would have hoped today, coming into the match, will I get chances? And he's had plenty.
Yep. And that red is, well, just the equivalent of missing a black off the spot. And at this level, you cannot afford to miss when you're in. And that's what he's done too many times. Well, another long pot missed. And a nice easy starter.
1. Four. Five.
Nicely played positional shot there.
Twelve. 13. Twenty. Now,
the shot here is to screw into the pack and leave yourself on the red to the right corner. And that was well played. He just caught the loose red. Which meant the white spun a little bit more to the left-hand side of the table.
28.
He just catches that first red.
Nice.
Looking more relaxed here. Perhaps he's just got to the point of no return, John. He's 5-2 down. He's just going to give it what he's got.
Yeah, absolutely. But, you know, as I say, the chances are coming thick and fast, so he's probably got his cue arm going, and, as you say, point of no return.
34.
And he'll be disappointed with the opportunities he's had and opportunities he's missed, but as I say, after what he's been through, he's back playing in the big arena, and it can only benefit him in the future. He's only 29. He's plenty of years ahead of him.
35.
And we know he can play the game, as he proved in 2010 when he got to the quarter-final here, beating Judd Trump along the way.
40.
So Judd Trump's highest break 104, 41 for Mark Joyce. Should better it here.
41.
Don't like his body language here. He's obviously come a little bit awkward on this black, so he's not certain to be good on the next red. 41 points in front, but still a possible 91 remaining. But that's his highest break of the match. And he's on one to the middle.
48. $49.
And we've got to leave this now because you can continue watching it, however, on the red button and online. And if I could just update you briefly with events on table 2, Ali Carter is 5-1 up now on Stevie Davis, so Steve might be on his way back to the studio at some point. But let me just remind you of how all the ways that you can watch the snooker and keep across it in the coming days. In addition to BBC Two's extensive coverage, you can watch uninterrupted live matches from both tables through your connected TV, your computer, tablet or mobile phone, with the red button always keeping you in touch with the best of the action.
A really close finale in store here between these two players.
There'll also be regular updates on Radio 5 Live, and click onto the BBC Sport website for the latest on-demand highlights, news and interviews from here at the Barbican Centre. And we will return at 11:30 this evening with the highlights from day 2 of the Championship, including Mark Allen against Marco Fu and Stuart Bingham playing Jack Lazowski. But in the meantime, thanks to John and to Ken for the company, and indeed to you for yours. See you soon. Bye.